Hello fellow crazies, something a little bit different today, as you can see by my half ripped apart WR. I've mentioned in a few of my videos, specifically the wheelie videos, that I was working on an EFI map for the WR. A lot of the stuff that's out there, I mean, I tried pretty much everything. If you have one of these bikes, I've tried all the maps that you've probably tried, all the stuff you find from Yamaha's GYTR literature, and there's a bunch of other stuff floating around in a few of the forums. So none of those maps really did it for me. So I went out and used some parts of some of those maps to kind of build my own. And the final part of that is actually testing that map with a Wideband O2 Sensor to make sure everything's safe, and so I can actually, with some degree of confidence, recommend it to other people. So first I just want to go over some of the mods I have on this bike. If your bike is stock, this map that I'm going to share at the end of the video will probably not work as well for you, if at all. And again, disclaimer here, if this blows your bike up, it's not my problem. You're using this, if you choose to use it, you're using it at your own risk. This just works for me on my specific motorcycle. Now, tweaks on this bike. First, we've got the full Dr. D exhaust, expansion chamber, header pipe there, full Dr. D exhaust, which I quite like for the WR, and I had some early issues with it, but the folks at Debauch Racing sorted it out for me, so has the exhaust on it. So one of the other mods is right here. I've removed the Snorkels from the Airbox. There's these two rubber things that stick in here, which are kind of a restriction. I mean, they're there primarily to keep the intake a little bit higher on the bike. So you don't have issues with water ingestion and whatnot, but it's a Supermoto. I'm not enduro racing this thing, so I don't really care. I'd rather have the increased airflow, so I took those out. Another thing I did, this little guy right here is the air temp sensor. I've moved that. It actually usually lives on this little bracket right here. I've moved that down into one of the mounting points for the Snorkel, so that the temperature it's getting is actually much closer to the throttle body, so that should give me a little bit better air metering. That's pretty much it. The engine is stock, the internals are stock, pretty much everything is stock WR with the exception of the Supermoto stuff. Other stuff I have hooked up here, my Wideband O2 sensor. This pipe here is something I made, just has a bung in it. It's safety wired to the exhaust so it can't pop out on me on the road. This is a Wideband O2 sensor that is talking to an Innovate Motorsports LC2 wideband controller, and one other gauges here just so I can see what's going on. I'm not data logging or anything. I just want to kind of eyeball it to make sure it's safe, it's not overly lean, and all that good stuff. So again, this map was largely built just through trial and error. What feels good on the bike. Where a lot of the existing maps, they had torque drop-offs or kind of weird things going on that I didn't really like. So this is just what feels right to me. And now this is the last step, just making sure the AFRs are where I want them. If not, I can tweak them a little bit and just make sure everything's safe. Again, if you use this map that I'm going to put at the end of the video, you are on your own. If you melt your engine, it's your problem. If you have a completely stock bike or a much more modified bike than I have with like headwork and stuff, this will probably not work as well for you, so fair warning. Okay, it's in the 12 to 1 AFR at about part throttle. Not being too aggressive, just light throttle. It's really quite lean for cruising, which is pretty good actually. Yep, mid throttle is about 14 to 1, which is perhaps a little bit lean, but not too bad. Yeah, mid revs, lots of throttles, about 14. Just cruising, about 13. Okay, that's not bad at all. Yeah, it's about 12 under like high revs, high throttle. I'm actually having to work to keep the fucking front wheel on the ground, so. The fuck? Just pull out on me, why don't you, you dick? Yeah, it's about 12 to 1, so I can actually lean it out a little bit on the high revs. Okay, so right up to run number 2 here with the wideband testing. I took a little bit of fuel out of the top end. It was in like the 12 to 1 range at full throttle, and it's about 13 or so. Which feels a little bit stronger. It's about 12.5, which is just about what you'd want it to be. It's actually a little bit rich for naturally aspirated, but it's actually not bad. Yeah, slightly. That's pretty good. I like that there. Light cruising is good and lean. It's around 15, so that's good for. Pretty good map. I like that map. That'll work. Hey, you like my videos? Well, subscribe to the channel then. Hit the like button. And if you want to comment, tell me what kind of an idiot I am, go over to leonloco.com and let me know. Yeah.